All right, here we go. Toxic Toss Thursdays. We have a really great episode today. We are talking about if your deodorant is making you sick, could be making you sick. I know, right? We all gotta wear deodorant. We all gotta smell good. So let's jump to it. Let's turn this down a little bit. Okay. So welcome. I am Amy Sunseri, and again, this is Toxic Toss Thursdays, where every Thursday we discuss ways to get rid of the toxic chemicals that may be lurking in the conventional items that you might be using on an everyday basis, right? And I started this series a few months ago, literally to discuss something that's not being talked about, right? It's not really mainstream to discuss what toxic chemicals may be linking in our products, and a lot of times we just don't know, right? So the saying goes, when you know better, you do better, and boy, oh boy, that's the truth. So today, we're talking about deodorant. And I know you guys got to use deodorant, right? Something we all use. So we all want to smell good, right? So fresh and so clean. But it could be making you sick, right? So let's talk about that. Let's break it down. Let's first start off by just sharing, well, what kind of deodorant are we even using? So back in the day, before I knew better, I actually used to use Secret deodorant. Yep, true story. That's what I used to use. Again, I didn't know. I just thought you go to the store, you go down the aisle with all of the products, and you pick what works best for you. You put it in your cart and you check out, and it's a done deal, right? I never used to flip over the back, actually look at the ingredients and see what was in what I was using. So we're going to discuss what are some of the top chemicals in deodorant and why they're bad and how you can do better. Okay, so like we said, Toxic Toss Thursdays, all about deodorant. So let's get right to it, right? So what is so bad with deodorant? Why is that something that could cause problems? Well, when you think about it, it makes sense that most conventional deodorants would be toxic to one's body, right? Deodorant is something that we slather all over our lymph nodes for years and years, and we wonder why people are getting sick. Well, it's because of the toxic chemicals that are in that deodorant. So deodorant is a product that inhibits your body's natural secretion of toxins. So an antiperspirant and deodorant will clog your skin follicles so that you're not able to sweat as much as your body requires, right, to get rid of those toxins. So on top of slowing your body's natural cleansing and detoxifying process, many deodorants also release tons of harmful chemicals into the body, and you just don't want that, right? So let's break it down. Now, most conventional deodorants that are on the market, there's quite a few toxins that are hidden in them. So today we're just going to discuss three, because I know, trust me, it can be very overwhelming. When I first got started on my natural journey, I was so freaked out on how this all works. So we're just going to discuss three today. We're going to break it down and discuss aluminum, parabens, and triclosan. We're just going to discuss those chemicals. So let's break it down to those three, right? These are typically found in most of the deodorants that are sold in the store. Okay, so aluminum. What is aluminum, right? Well, that's the active ingredient that actually clogs your pores and prevents the sweating. And aluminum, you guys, is pretty much found in all of the conventional deodorants that are sold on the market. So aluminum exposure has been linked with the developmental disease of Alzheimer's. It interferes with your estrogen levels, and when your body can't process estrogen properly, then there's a higher risk for breast and prostate cancer. So you just don't want the aluminum in your deodorant. Okay, next, parabens, number 2. So why is this chemical something you don't want in your deodorant? So this chemical is used in a lot of products these days as a preservative, right? But it's possibly one of the most harmful additives of all. Parabens can act as estrogen in your body, which actually disrupts the hormonal balance, right? Meaning that it's messing with the endocrine system. This too has been linked to cancer, prostate and breast cancer. So again, you just don't want this accumulating in your body. And then number 3, the third harmful chemical is triclosan. So the FDA has classified triclosan as a pesticide. Yet it's in the majority of the brand name deodorants, right? Along with these other chemicals. So it's used to kill bacteria in the manufacturing process, as well as when it comes in contact with your skin. So when triclosan is combined with water, it can easily create a carcinogenic gas, I cannot speak today, called chloroform. And this is just something that you don't want on your body, right? So just those chemicals alone, right? Just knowing those three, aluminum, parabens, triclosan, you just don't want those, right? Learning about all the things that they do that's negative to your body, that's disrupting your body's system. So what can you do? Well, rather than allowing the chemicals and toxins to absorb into your skin, and remember, we've talked about this before, once it's put on your skin in 26 seconds, it's entering your bloodstream, right? You learn about natural alternatives that are out there, right? When you know better, you do better. Again, you're going to hear me keep saying that because it's so true. It's all about knowing better and doing better. So step one, obviously, check your current deodorant, right? See what you're using. And how do you even do that? Well, reading the label. And a lot of times I know it can be overwhelming. Well, I don't really understand these chemicals. I don't know where they are. Well, there's tons of ways that you can do it, and you can take control with baby steps. So number one, there is an app out there. I've talked about this as well before, through the Environmental Working Group, the EWG. It's called Healthy Living. That app allows you to actually scan your products and to see how they rate on the toxicity level. So it will actually tell you what chemicals are in it. You can download that for free if you have a smartphone. And you can also just go to the website. Maybe you don't have a smartphone. You can go to the website and you can actually type in your products and you can see what's going on with them, right? So you can do it that way. So next, know what the harmful chemicals are so that you choose a safer deodorant, right? So just knowing that these are top 3 chemicals, and if you see that anywhere on the label saying, you know what, no, I'm not going to buy that one. That one's junk. I don't want that in my body, you know, especially if it leads to Alzheimer's and cancer. No, you know, make the informed decision. You're the only one that's going to allow it into your home. So remember, we talked about this before too. Don't just get greenwashed. You've got to really flip over the labels. If you don't know what greenwashing and pinkwashing is, go back to my YouTube channel and check out that video, because you don't want that to happen either. You've got to make an informed decision. Okay, and then next, simply purchase from companies you know and you trust, right? You know that they are chemical free. So what does my family do? Well, there's a couple things we do. We buy our deodorant from Young Living Essential Oils, and yes, they are more than just an oil company. They have an entire wellness line of products that are simply better for your body. So our favorite deodorants are right here. This is the Meadow Mist deodorant. This is the one that I prefer. And then they also have a Mountain Mint deodorant. And this is the one that my husband prefers. So you find the one that works for you, right? These might not work for you, but maybe they will. But at least they do not have any of those harmful chemicals in them, right? They're not lurking in these. So this is a more natural, safer option, because again, you're slathering it on those lymph nodes for 70 plus years. We wonder why people are getting sick, right? And it literally makes sense, okay? Or you can make your own, right? There are tons of recipes out there for DIYs, do-it-yourselfs, where you can actually make your own deodorant and see what works best for you. So I have a very simple recipe here. We'll get right to it, and I'll show you guys just how easy it is to make your own deodorant in case you like to do it that way. And if you don't, you can purchase your own simple, right? Okay, so you are just going to have a couple ingredients here. All we're going to be using is coconut oil. You can either use the kind that's already hard, or you could use the liquid version, up to you. We're going to be using some baking soda, cornstarch, and then essential oils. So all of this, super simple. We've got, what, 4 ingredients here, and we are going to be making a non-toxic deodorant for those of you that like these. So I'll post the recipe below afterwards. We are just going to start with 1/4, and I'm actually going to follow my recipe this time because last week I did not and got a little messed up here. Okay, so we are going to start with 1/4 of the baking soda, and you've got to have your bowl here. So you just get your 1/4 cup, add in your baking soda. And again, this is super cheap, super easy to do, great alternative to do it the more natural way. So we add that in. There's our 1/4 of our baking soda. And then next we're going to add in 1/4 as well of the cornstarch. And there's different ways to modify this. I've seen people use bentonite clay before. Again, you see what works best for your body, right? Okay, so we've got the cornstarch, we've got the 1/4. We're going to add that into our bowl here. Mix that in. And then next we are going to use our coconut oil. We're just going to use 2 tablespoons. And again, you could either use it hardened, preferably if you have it softened. I mean, you don't want it so hard. Or you can use the liquefied version. And we're just going to put in our 2 tablespoons. So there's 1. And there's 2. And then you're going to add in your essential oils. Now again, you don't just want to add in any essential oils, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, because sadly 98% of essential oils that are sold on the market are adulterated with synthetics and chemicals. Why? Because they're just adding whatever into the bottles, because it's Mother Nature, right? And if you don't have Mother Nature, where does the Mother Nature come from? Young Living is the only essential oil company in the world that owns their own farm, so above organic quality. So you're getting the pure oil, right? So you could use anything from purification would be a great one, lavender, tea tree oil. Again, you got to find what works best for you, what works best for your body, and then you're just going to add in 10 drops. That's it. So you take the oil that works best for you. I'm going to add in some tea tree and just 10 drops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And voila. Now we're just going to mix it together. So you've got to really pound down on this. Mix it together here. And then once you get the consistency right, you're going to take an empty deodorant container. You can buy them off of Amazon. They sell them empty, ready to go, so that you're just going to add it in here, right? So you're going to take your mixture and then you're going to add it into your container and really press down on that. And then depending on how what's the word, liquid it is, you may have to add this into the refrigerator for it to solidify, to all settle together. And then those of us that live in areas that are warmer in the summer, it may start to melt again. You may have to add that back into the refrigerator so it can harden back up. But that's it, right? A super simple way to make a non-toxic deodorant. Again, to have none of those harmful chemicals in it. Super inexpensive, you know, easy way. Because again, the saying goes, when you know better, you do better, right? So I'll post that below. This deodorant, to note, the one that we just made, should be applied lightly. It's invisible, but it does work. Okay, so as you can see, there are alternatives, right, to the chemical-laden deodorant. It's important to inform yourself of the risks of these deodorants and begin considering the alternatives. They are more natural, less harmful, and will keep your body functioning rather than leading to things like Alzheimer's and cancer, right? Because you want your body functioning properly. Okay, so that wraps up today's edition of Toxic Toss Thursdays. Join me next Thursday, February 22nd, when we're going to be discussing fish oil and a healthy brain. That's going to be a really great one. And remember, you can follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook with Amy Sunseri Natural Wellness. And there's tons of more information on there. I would love to hear from you guys. Love to hear what topics you want discussed. And thanks again for watching. This is Toxic Toss Thursdays. I'll see you guys next week.